In this video, I'm going to show you the exact Facebook ad strategy that you should use if you run ads with a low budget. What low budget means basically you have a budget that is between 10 and 100 US dollar per day. This is just a screenshot that proves like the case study we'll go through about a low budget client that we have. Let me show you a screen recording here. As you can see, this month of April, we have spent 1.8K and we have generated 9K with a 5.15x return on the ad spend. And as you can see from this screenshot here, there are some ads that have a budget which is basically as low as 10 USD per day. And in this video, we'll go through the concept behind this like strategy and the way that you should run your ads when you're spending not much money, and how you can actually generate those kind of results that you see here in the screenshot. The concept of this strategy is that during this phase, you need to test three main things. The first one is the product. If you sell, of course, many products, you have many SKUs. The second thing is to test the offer, like if you have a bundle, if you have a single product offer, if you have like any different kind of offer you might have, and the test the creatives. When it comes to creatives, there are a lot of different type of creatives that you should test. It depends on the brands, depends like what brand you are. Type of creative that works specifically for specific brands, like supplements brands, they work some type of creatives, while fashion, jewelry brands, there are other creative types that work for them. But in general, what you want to understand from this phase here is like the best type of creatives, like static images, and what kind of static images, what are the concepts, what are the angles, the videos and everything. And the main point is that at one point, of course, when you have all things figured out, you can consolidate the budget on the best product plus best offer plus best creative. And you don't necessarily have to call this like a scaling campaign because the budget is still low, and so it's not really a scaling. But one thing which is very important is that during this phase, you don't have to care about the learning phase, because it will be basically impossible for you to exit the learning phase with a low budget, because you need like 50 creatives. All the ads that you see here, guys, they're all of them, they are into learning phase limited. And as you can see, we still get 6, 14x, 9x return on the ad spend. So it's not gonna be a problem to be in learning limited, okay? Cool. So let's jump into the actual strategy and campaign structure itself. So what you need is basically, this is the entire campaign structure that you need during this phase. Okay, so you need one advantage shopping plus per product per offer. This here can be either one campaign for each product or offer, or you can have in one campaign that like is like a CBO campaign, and in each single ad set you have a product or offer. In my case, so what we did here that actually works very well is, instead of having one CBO campaign or one ABO campaign where you have different ad set, you're gonna have one campaign with one ad set, so advantage shopping plus one ad set, broad targeting, and you're gonna have all the creatives for the specific product and the specific offer within that single campaign. And so what you're gonna have three different campaigns, one for each product. The budget for each campaign will be between 10 and 50 US dollar per day, broad targeting, advantage shopping plus audience on, and then you wanna have two different statics and two different video for each product, for each offer. During this phase, you don't have to care about learning phase again. So what most probably is gonna happen is that this like of these four ads here, maybe only video one will spend money, while the other, like the static number 1 or 2 or the video number 2, they're not gonna spend anything. And you don't have to care about that. Because you will never exit the learning phase anyways. And so if Meta is not spending money on some creatives, that means that probably the creative is not gonna work, and you don't wanna spend money to force Meta to spend on specific creatives because you think they're gonna work, otherwise you're just gonna waste money. And especially during this phase, your only goal is to maximize the return on the ad spend. So your only goal is to make sure the return on ad spend is as high as possible, because a high return on ad spend gives you good profits, of course, but also unlock the situation where you can increase the spending and then start scaling the revenue. So what you want to do during this phase is test products and offer. giving the fact that you have different products and different offer. If you don't have that, just go with one campaign, as simple as this. Of course, like in this case, if you have only one campaign, because you have only like one product and one offer, what you can do, you can add even more. You can add like 8 different creatives in total for the ad set itself, okay? And this will allow you to, of course, like in this case, you're probably not gonna have 10 a day, you're gonna have like 50 a day, and so you can focus all the budget in one campaign only. If you still have 50 a day and you wanna try 3 different campaigns, what you can do is like 20, 20, 20 goes up from 60, or like 15, 15, 15, okay? The only difference is that you need to be careful to the amount of creatives that you use, because if you only use 15 a day, you cannot have like more than 3-4 creatives inside the ad set, otherwise the spending is not gonna be enough for Meta to understand which one is the winning ad, and so I'm just gonna waste money, and the campaign itself is not gonna be optimized for return on ad spend. And what you wanna do, you wanna check everything on a weekly basis, and then on a weekly or bi-weekly, you want to change the creatives. Since you only have 4 creatives, 1 week or 2 weeks probably is gonna be enough to have enough information for you to understand what creatives are not working, so you can actually stop them. So you literally turn them off. So you turn them off, and then you're gonna launch fresh new ad, okay? And you go replace them. And then this new ad, they will start competing against the best winner ad that is getting all the spend, probably the best return on spend. And then what is going to happen is that if Meta see that the new creatives, whatever statics or videos they are, start getting more spend compared to this one, at one point what you will see is that this ad will get more spend, and most probably because the return on spend is higher. And so this one, it will decrease the spending, or it will balance it. And at one point you have 2 ads. At this point here, you're probably gonna have, and you basically need to continue this process until you find the ad that actually bring you the best return on ad spend, and you are above your target. So if during this phase you are like, for instance, you have these 2 which are a winner, cool, you have 2 ad active with a campaign that is spending like 20 a day, let's say, and let's say you also have like all this active. What you want to do at this point, if the return on spend is above your target, you can start increasing the spending. So you can start scaling. And this is how you jump from a low phase, from like a low budget phase to like a scaling phase slowly, of course. And then what you want to do, you want to simply increase the budget at the campaign level. Don't overcomplicate things. And in this ad set, by the way, here, in this ad set here, all these creatives can be of the same product, same offer, but they can be different angles. They must be different angles. Do not test simple iteration. What does it mean? If you have 2 statics, okay, this is like static number 1, and this is static number 2, don't change the call to action or the background image. You need to, and like, so don't make a simple change. You know, the change needs to be different, like a completely different angle. So if you test like an angle number, like whatever angle it is, you want to try or test another different type of angle or creative type. Creative type, like you're using a static, cool, try a video. You're using a video which is like a professional video, cool, try a UGC. You want to try catalog, you want to try, the only thing that you don't have to do, which is actually also important, is do not use dynamic catalog, especially the Advantage Shopping Plus catalog, dynamic one. Otherwise Meta is gonna spend all the budget in here. Okay, the problem with this one is that this is not gonna convert, because this campaign here, it has no information about your product. It depends, of course, on what brands you are. Like if you're a supplement brand, your product needs more explanation, so you need a different strategy compared to a jewelry brand or a fashion brand, where the product are most likely to be very visual, so people can just see an image and the main USP of the brand in the copy, and it's good to go, because people mainly will buy because either they feel part of the brand, or so they envision, you know, the concept of the brand, or because they like the design, which is not the same case when it comes to skincare, beauty, supplements, and all those things. And this is basically it. You keep scaling this one, you keep increasing the budget. If ROAS is bad, you want to keep changing the creatives inside until you find something that works. At one point, you will find yourself with one campaign optimized with a good return on the ad spend. So let's say this campaign here is giving you like a 3x return on the ad spend. Cool. What you want to do at this point, you want to start increasing the spending. You want to start increase the spending every 2-3 days, and you want to increase by 20 to 30%. Okay, so let's say this is like 50 a day, because, or maybe 30 a day, whatever, 30 a day, cool. This is working well, you have a good return on ad spend, perfect. So what you can do now, you can start increasing by 20-30%. So you basically just do the math, and it's gonna be like, for instance, like with 30, you do 30 times 1.2 is gonna be 36, and then this one will be 36. Cool. If the return on ad spend keeps going well and it keeps the consistency, cool, you can increase again and again and again every 2-3 days. And keep in mind that the more you increase the spending, the more creatives you need. And even if you have winning creatives, let's say those two are the winners, even if you have these two winning creatives here, you still need to launch new ad every 1 or 2 weeks, especially if you increase the spending, because what is going to happen at one point is that those creatives will probably start to decrease in performance, because at a low budget you don't know the longevity, so it can be like 1 week, can be 2 weeks, or can be like 1 month, but at one point they will for sure decrease the performance. And so you need to make sure that you're testing new ad, not too many because the budget is not too high, every 1 or 2 weeks, because at one point when this one is gonna fall, there is gonna be a new winner that is gonna take the place, or maybe they could be two. Okay, and this is basically it, guys. You need to really keep it simple, test different products, see what works, what doesn't, and when you're ready, you can just like start scaling. This is basically it. And yeah, if you guys like the video, remember to leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and I'll see you in the next video.